Hi friends, my name is Alla and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will make a review of the set of 36 pans watercolors of White Nights. White Nights watercolors is a St. Petersburg watercolors, and it is widely known for their bright colors and very affordable price for their good, high quality, artistic, great watercolors. When I was studying in fine art school, I used White Nights, but previously, like many years ago, it was called like Leningrad. St. Petersburg name of this city is Leningrad, and old name of the city, and obviously the colors had the same name. But the colors, what it happened, those just improved throughout the time, and today we will make some swatches to see how it's improved and how bright are these colors. On the other hand, after we will do the swatches, I will share some of the works that I already did with watercolors, and you can see how we can create different effects with these watercolors, how to create bright and beautiful works, and to enjoy this palette. Let's start. So guys, this is my set of artists watercolors White Nights, 36 colors in pens, and this palette is not new for me. I already have it for half a year, and you will see that it is not new. Each of the set is coming up with one white paper, and you can try and to make swatches on your own on this already prepared palette, and you can find out how it is the color. It is I advise you to do every time you start your new palette, because sometimes the colors are really dark inside of the palette and it looks like it is one color only, but in reality it is different colors. Each of the set of watercolors is coming up with 36 pens and a palette where you can mix up colors. Very useful, I really like it, and very enjoyable. And let's start with our swatches. A part of this palette that we can make our swatches on our own, on the back of the this set of watercolors we have all the colors, their name, and as well some really important data. For example, each of the name of the color is very different from one provider to another, but then we have the numbers PV4 or PI35 that are common all within, because these are the pigments that were used for creating this color. This is one of the things that you have to know about this information. On the other hand, here on the palette you can see that if we have this kind of stars under each color, it means that the light fastness of the colors. When I was reviewing the Daniel Smith watercolors, all the colors, only two colors that are less light fastness have the highest light fastness. In this palette we see that some of these colors have like 2 stars, or the violet is the less light fastness, that it is only 1 star. What does it mean? That if the watercolor is exposed to the sun in a certain time, it will change into a gray color. Even though there are so many professional machines that even nowadays, even those with 2 stars have a very good light fastness, so don't be afraid of using these colors. Another important information is the sign that we have over here. For example, if this square is filled, it means that the color is opaque. For example, we have cadmium yellow medium opaque color. Then we have cadmium red light, that is opaque color. And we have chromium oxide, that as well as opaque paint. Then we have semi-transparent paint that have half of the square filled. There are more colors that have semi-transparent paint and transparent paints, that those are really light. For example, quinacridone rose, it is transparent paint. And the triangle means that the paint, if those are filled, if the triangle is filled with color, it is staining paint, If it is half, it is semi-staining paint, and if it is white, then it means that it is non-staining paint. Let's create the swatches. I prepared here the list, and I specifically created this video that we have closer the view. I want that you see in a closer view. Later I will show all the palette when we will finish it. My first color is a zinc white color, and it is semi-transparent color. If we take water, when it is semi-transparent, it means usually in watercolors we are meant not to use white color, and a lot of artists are not using the white colors. But it is great to have white colors in your palette, because if you want, for example, to make some specific effects, then you can use this white color and mixing up with other colors. Cadmium lemon, it is semi-transparent color. Look how bright it is. And taking water, let's make this swatch to see how transparent it gets. The next one will be cadmium yellow medium. The pigments that are used in both colors is the same. The difference is that cadmium yellow medium is considered that it is an opaque paint. And taking water, let's see how. Some of the paints I use more, some of the paints I use less. For example, yellow ochre is one of the colors that are used a lot in my paintings, and I have already half of the pen. Yellow ochre has two pigments, 43 and 154. Now we are practicing over here, but if you have your thoughts to buy these watercolors, you will have more detailed information on the back of the watercolors. Golden color is considered that it is a transparent color. You can see that ochre is a little bit granulating over here. Our next color is golden deep. It is very similar to golden, but the pigments are different that were used. For example, for golden color we have two pigments, and for golden deep we have only one pigment. Yellow. This yellow is a little bit different to cadmium lemon. It is warmer. The pigments of White Nights are really bright and really enjoyable. Titian red is transparent and has a high light fasten. Ruby color is one that I use a lot in mixing up for violet colors with ultramarine. Ruby and ultramarine colors get a beautiful violet color and with a higher light fasten, because violet that we have here on this palette, it is the one that has less light fasten. Cadmium red, light, it is an opaque color. Let's take more color over here to make it darker and to see how it is turning out beautiful. Then we have English red. English red is a great color to use for facades when you're painting some urban sketches. And it is an opaque color. Quinacridone rose color. If you are initiating in watercolors and you're not sure which palette to choose, then I advise you to go with White Nights 12 colors. It is one of the palettes that I used when I was learning in fine art school, and I can firmly say that 12 colors is more than enough to initiate in watercolors. It's not necessary to have this huge palette. Even me, as you can see, I bought it only half a year ago. This palette, it was just something that I really wished. It was for me for like a present. I wanted to have different colors and to play around. But if you are following me along, you can see that I use very few of those colors. I still maintain my work with 12 colors and not using too much any other colors. Now I was using carmine color. Carmine is a transparent color and it is staining paint. Very beautiful is carmine, I like it. Then we have Madder Lake Red Light. The beauty of having such a variety of the pigments on the same palette is that you don't have to mix up all the colors, and the colors are already bright and clean, because when you start to create different swatches or you start to create different colors from the main colors, sometimes it can happen that the color starts to be not so clean. Quinacridone Lilac. It is a transparent watercolor. And let's go with violet color. The violet color is really beautiful. The only thing is that if you use this color, I advise you to use, for example, for sketchbooks or for the works that you know that will stay far away from light. If you are doing big works, then I don't think this is a good option to try. Ultramarine color. Ultramarine is one of the colors that is used the most in my palette. Ultramarine color is a granulating color. You've probably noticed that in Daniel Smith watercolors it is granulating too. When I say it is granulating color, it means that we see these kinds of darker dots on our palette, and if the paper has a specific structure, we will see these small colors over there. Our next color is bright blue. As well, very beautiful blue, very clean. When I was showing you the bright blue from Winston & Newton, you can compare that the color is not so clean in Winston & Newton, but of course we are comparing professional colors with student grade. That because the review that I made for Winston & Newton colors was a student grade color. Cobalt blue color is semi-transparent paint. It is non-staining paint, and it is granulating paint. I was thinking that the palette is not showing which granulating colors are, but actually yes, now I just saw that part of this G letter means that these colors are granulating colors. I already mentioned that some of the colors that we see that are granulated, and here you can find those. When you start to paint, don't bother about granulating colors or not. Later, if you want already to create some specific effects on your watercolors and to create some granulating watercolors, then yes, it is really interesting to go with the palette and to study it more. Indifferent blue color, a very beautiful color to create deep shadows. And if you want to create beautiful violet colors, you can use indifferent and carmine color. The mix of those two will be really beautiful. It looks like an ocean over here. I really love it. Turquoise blue color. Turquoise blue color has in it different pigments. It is not only one pigment, but it doesn't matter. Look how clean it is. So what I want to say here is that many of these colors that I'm showing you right now are already created from 2 or 3 pigments. For this reason, it is important that you are not playing too much with mixing up these tertiary colors in one with another, because if not, you will create a really not so beautiful gray color. Indigo. Indigo blue, as well as indifferent blue, is used for creating deep shadows and to create a deeper violet colors. You can use indigo with ruby, and as well you will get a very beautiful violet color. Cerulean blue color. It is one of the most beautiful light blue colors. I use those a lot for blue sky and for creating really easy and quick sketches. And you can see it is a granulating color too. Let's move on with yellowish green. Yellowish green. I don't use it a lot. I used it only for sketches because it is easy and we can go fast with some trees. But when we are creating some specific works in watercolors, real nature landscapes, and not quick urban sketches, I advise not to go with this green. Emerald green. This green can be used a lot for water. It has a beautiful texture. The green color. Each of the greens can be obtained from mixing up blues and yellows. Or if you want, we can also mix up blues and golden colors. Olive green. Olive green, oops, it is mixing up over here. But look how beautiful effect it has, olive green. Olive green is one of the colors that a lot of artists love. I think, and I know why a lot of artists love this color, me too, I'm not an exception, is that this olive green has that kind of yellow color, yellow vibes of summer, but it can be used as well in autumn time to create some more greenery, and the greenery that it is turning out into yellow color. So it is both beautiful and easy to use in any landscape. Well, the beauty of this olive green is that when it started to mix up, did you notice that this started to bleed and to make that the green color to go out of this space? So very beautiful effects when we are working with olive green or with cadmium yellow. These colors, because they have this specific effect, can create very beautiful effects on beautiful big works. For example, imagine that you are creating some greenery and you made all the greenery into this kind of deep green color, and then you forgot to make some light spaces. So if you use olive green or cadmium lemon color, in that work, what will happen is that these two colors will make that space and will create a lighter color, exactly like we see it over here. Okay, moving next, chromium oxide color. I don't use it a lot, but it is true that we can create some beautiful effects. It is a granulating color, and it can be used when we want to create some granulating works. It is considered an opaque color. Raw sienna. Raw sienna, close to ochre color, is used a lot, and this is because of this really neutral color that can create beautiful effects in urban sketching, for still life, and even for portraits to be used. Raw sienna is a granulating color too. Then we have burnt sienna. Umber. Umber is a beautiful brown color that has some green touches, and it is made from 3 different colors, pigments. If you use umber color, then I advise you not to mix it up with anything. It already has 3 colors in it. Burnt umber. Burnt umber is a granulating color, but this one is made only from 1 pigment. Mars brown color. Mars brown looks more like an earthy color, or it is my feeling about this color. Sepia. Sepia as well is used a lot. For example, sepia and indanthrene colors are used in that moments that you want to create a really dark effect, a really dark shadow. And it allows you to play with its intensity. Neutral black. I used neutral black, but many artists do not advise to use it. It is considered that it is one of the colors that has too many pigments in it. It has 1, 2, 3 pigments, and it is not so clean. I used it because sometimes when you want to create even darker effects and you are going fast, it works a lot, like gray color, and you don't have to mix it up. So when I'm doing urban sketching, I try not to bother with mixing up too many colors. I use main colors straight away from the pens, and it makes it easier. Payne's Gray is one of the colors that I use a lot, and I use this color a lot because it is cleaner than neutral black color, and it has these cold vibes, and when we want to create these cold shadows, it works really well. So guys, we finished with our swatches. Now I will show you all the palette, how it looks like, and I will write down as well the pigments on each of the colors, that if you want to take as a notice, and if you want to buy some other watercolors that are not white nights but with the same pigment that you liked over here, then you can just take this number and to look it for another watercolors. Here is my palette, a complete palette of swatches from set of artists watercolors, white nights, 36 colors in pens. And here I mentioned as well the pigments that were used for each color, and if the color is granulating one or not. Wherever you see a G letter, it means that the color is granulating color. On the other hand, I want to share with you some of the works that I did with these watercolors, and you can see that the colors are really bright. Even when it dries out, it is not getting too light, the color. The colors are beautifully mixing up one into another. Very clean colors. We can create some very beautiful effects. Different greens, colors. Dear friends, I showed you the swatches with watercolors. You've seen some of the works that I did, and I think that the works say on their own about these watercolors. I consider that these watercolors are high quality watercolors with a good affordable price. And if you don't want to go with 36 pens, you can go with 12 only. When I used to learn in fine art school, I used 12 colors only, and with 12 colors you can get a lot of mixing up and beautiful and bright effects. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment if you liked this video, what do you think about white nights, thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!